on the horror at that hospital. What does the evidence show? Here's our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, now.
Tonight, new clues into that catastrophic strike on the Gaza hospital and whether it was a militant rocket or an Israeli airstrike. Video showing the moment of the blast. Experts say the sound of the impact could provide evidence.
That is the sound of a high-speed rocket. That is not the sound of an airstrike or of something dropped from an airplane or even an artillery shell. The high pitch is much closer to what you would hear from a rocket just prior to impact.
Video taken on the ground appears to show a large area badly damaged by fire. Experts say potentially from a rocket's unspent fuel. And there was no large impact crater and little of the structural damage typical of recent Israeli strikes.
You see a puncture hole and you see burned out cars. If it were a high explosive airstrike, it would create a giant crater and those cars would be blown out of the square.
The US National Security Council today also saying its preliminary assessment is that Israel was not responsible for the explosion, citing intelligence sources. But for some, no amount of evidence will change their opinion.
Whatever justification and explanation you can put on it, many people are just going to conclude it's Israel's fault.
We didn't start. We have to fight. We have to fight.
So let's bring in Ian Pannell, our chief foreign correspondent tonight, also live in Tel Aviv. These new clues you've just reported on, Ian, but regardless of what the U.S. says, what Israel says, the anger growing, and the other very real concern, the potential of the radicalization of civilians who have witnessed all of this suffering, regardless of what they're hearing from world leaders.
Yeah, it really felt like the court of public opinion made its decision instantly, and it's against the backdrop of these thousands of strikes that have been launched from Israel into Gaza since that October the 7th attack. There is a lot of anger that's been brewing in the region, and this latest strike, in some senses, was the straw that broke the camel's back. Whatever the truth of the matter, people are not in a mood to listen. Tensions are rising, and it really feels, I've reported on this region for almost 2 decades, it really feels that it's closer to the brink than I've known it for any time. David.
Ian Pannell with us again tonight as well.